Good morning, boys and girls. Today I'm going to be going over lesson 53. You will complete your workbook by today and submit it by the end of day. We will be doing recording throughout this whole week since we are working from campus. So, let's go ahead and begin. We are looking at lesson 53. Now, listen carefully. Touch the letters S-U-B in part 1. Sub usually means under or less. Touch the first word in column A. So we're looking at the first word, boys and girls. First word. What word? Submarine. Next word. What word? Submerge. Now, everybody touch the first word in part B. First word. What word? Subtract. Next word. What word? Submit. Next word. What word? Substitute. Next word. What word? Sublet. Now, let's go ahead and touch the first word in part 2. So we're looking at part 2, boys and girls, paying close attention. Look at the first line. What's the underlined part? Get ready. Re. What word? Required. Next word. What's the underlined part? Get ready. Remember to hold it for 3 seconds. What word? Interest. Next word. What's the underlined part? What word? Insurance. Next word. What's the underlined part? What word? Experienced. Next word. What's the underlined part? Get ready. Lee. What word? Accurately. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at part 3. We're going to talk about what those words mean. Touch word number 1. What word? Stampede. Stampede means runs together in panic. Word number 2. What word? Offspring. Offspring are descendants or children. Touch word number 3. What word? Urge. An urge is a desire to do something. Everybody, what's another way of saying he had a desire to play golf? Get ready. He had an urge to play golf. Word number 4. What word? Concealed. Things that are hidden are concealed. Let's look at word number 5, boys and girls. Word number 5. What word? Scent. A scent is an odor. Now, let's go ahead and look at part 4, boys and girls. First word. What word? Focus. Next word. What word? Ancient. Next word. What word? Occurred. Next word. What word? Veered. Next word. What word? Inherit. Next word. What word? Occasion. Next word. What word? Gallop. Next word. What word? Sprinted. Next word. What word? Tumbled. Next word. What word? Hurry. Next word. What word? Secluded. Next word. What word? Mated. Next word. What word? Strongest. Next word. What word? 16th. Next word. What word? Lion. Next word. What word? Gross. Next word. What word? Electric. Next word. What word? Straight. Next word. What word? Ginkgo. Next word. What word? Buffalo. Next word. What word? Scrambled. Next word. What word? Skeleton. Next word. What word? Fought. Next word. What word? Instinctive. So let's go ahead and continue with our story, boys and girls. All of us should be following along. Pay close attention to what I am reading. The battle to survive. When Tekla was 5, she mated with a large male triceratops. 3 males had fought over her. Their instinctive fighting to see who would mate was insurance that only the strongest would produce offspring, and those offspring would inherit their parents' strength. In the spring, Tekla experienced some new instincts. She had a strong urge to be alone. If another triceratops drew near her, she would lower her head and move her horns from side to side, a sign that she was ready to attack. The other triceratops kept their distance a few days after Tekla had experienced the urge to be alone. The urge took on a new focus. Instinct told her, "Go to the cliffs, go to the cliffs," and so, late one afternoon, she left the herd and walked to the ancient beach near the cliffs. Her instincts told her to find a secluded spot and dig a deep hole. She dug the hole with her front teeth. Then she walked around the hole 3 or 4 times, making sure that she was safe. "Hurry," her instincts told her. It was time to lay eggs. She laid 7 large eggs. Then she covered the hole and returned to the herd. She had done everything that was required of a mother triceratops. She would never know her babies. She would have no interest in them. They were on their own, just as Tekla had been from the day she was born. Every year for the next 12 years, Tekla returned to the sand beach to lay eggs. Every year after laying eggs, she returned to the herd. During those 12 years, she had one more fight with a tyrannosaur. She and 5 other triceratops killed a large female. Tekla left the battle with the tip of her left horn broken off. Tekla's last fight occurred shortly after her 16th birthday. She was grazing on the edge of the herd. The herd made a practice of grazing in the open, far from the groves of the trees, which could hide the predators. On this occasion, however, the herd had moved close to a grove of ginkgo trees. There was almost no breeze, so Tekla couldn't smell the danger that the grove concealed. Suddenly, the herd stopped grazing. It was as if an electric shock had been sent through the herd. Then the triceratops began to run. Tekla didn't catch the scent of the predator, but she caught the panic of the herd. Like stampeding cattle, they began to gallop from the groves of trees. Almost as quickly as they began to stampede, Suddenly, the herd stopped grazing. It was as if an electric shock had been sent through the herd. Then the Triceratops began to run. Tekla hadn't caught the scent of the predator, but she caught the panic of the herd. Like stampeding cattle, they began to gallop from the grove of trees. Almost as quickly as they began to stampede, one large tyrannosaur and then another split from the grove. Part of the Triceratops herd split, moving off to the right. The rest kept running straight ahead. Tekla also ran straight ahead, but she was far behind to the Triceratops. Behind her was one large tyrannosaur that could easily outrun a Triceratops. And it did. As the other tyrannosaur ran after the Triceratops that veered to the right, this tyrannosaur sprinted after Tekla, overtaking about 300 yards from the grove of ginkgo trees. It tried to break her back with its powerful jaws, but the two animals were moving too fast for the tyrannosaur to direct its jaws accurately. It caught some of Tekla's flesh in its jaws as it fell on her back. Both animals tumbled to the ground with a terrible crash. Tekla scrambled to her feet, began to run away, and then suddenly stopped to face the predator. Nobody is sure why grazing animals sometimes run from predators and at other times fight. Sometimes water buffalo will run from lions, even though a water buffalo can easily kill a lion. The Triceratops herd ran from two tyrannosaurs, although they could easily have killed both of them if they had stood their ground. Tekla had run because the Triceratops had run. Now, however, her instincts told her that she must fight.